Let us first accept that brokenness, starting with us individually, starting with our institutions, our government, our politics. You know, brokenness. And you'll see it as we get to the new year, the year of elections, because friends will become foes, and the foes will become friends. No principle. Move from this political formation to the other political formation. No principle, but make sure you tell us it is for the sake of Wajiko. Brokenness. That is what is confronting you as you graduate. That is what is confronting us as clergy, as elders, as lecturers, wherever we are working. But you and me have a responsibility to make good of the brokenness. You and me have that challenge. I have promised the Presbyterian Church that we shall use our brokenness to become better. I've even told my family that we shall use our brokenness to become better people. So we will take the brokenness that we have and use it to the direction of crowds giving us rain when they break, the ground giving us food when it is broken, seeds germinating out of brokenness, and Jesus Christ our Lord saving us for being broken through a process of brokenness. You remember, he had scars. He was speared on his side. But our salvation came as a result of that. So, once again, we congratulate the graduates, and we are happy that you are graduating after the university has been accorded charter. You now have strong papers to go out into the world, aware that there is brokenness, to go and play your part. As a church, we shall be one with you. As a church, we have vowed to do exactly that, attending to the brokenness in ourselves, in our institutions, in the church, and in the community. May God bless us as we move forward. It is now my pleasure to invite the Chancellor of the Presbyterian University of East Africa, my predecessor at the PCA General Assembly Office, the very Reverend Dr. Julius Mwamba.
Praise be to God. Amen. Yes, a lot has been said by the speakers who have been ahead of me. And so I want to take just a few moments to mention one or two things, and then I'll call upon the chief guest to speak to us. But before I do that, I remember the VC mentioned that a team of other VCs have sent their messages, and they called upon somebody who was talk on their behalf. I would wish that he brings greetings from other VCs, since we are part and parcel of each other and we serve together with other universities. We are not an isolation, we work in unity. Bwana Professor Munene.
Praise God. Praise God. The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, staff, students, my fellow DOT members, the Senate, and all members of Prayer University. Good afternoon. It is my singular pleasure on behalf of other vice chancellors of this country to bring good wishes to this university and congratulate the vice chancellor and the team for having guided the students to the extent that they have been able to graduate. This has been a momentous time. Those of you who have followed the corona story, we started, opened, then closed. And that is what caused the delay in the graduation. So I want to say one or two things. The first one is congratulate the immediate moderator of the General Assembly, and also the chair of council, and also the chair of BOT. I think I will never forget the days a moderator, Jesse Kamau, used to tell us that the darkest part of the night is just before dawn. He made us not lose heart that we are going to set the charter. Therefore, moderator, for keeping us focused, we really want to appreciate. For the determination of the immediate former moderator, the many movements he made, the many contacts he made for the charter to be given is something that will remain permanently indebted for the work that was put. For the students, I have only one thing to say, that every one of us can be great. Each one of us can be great, because each one of us can serve. And as soon as you are able to serve humanity, the Lord will bless you, because you will draw people to yourself, and people are the ones who build other people. And therefore, I want to congratulate the graduates today. As you go to the world, go serve humanity. Be good to people. Because when you are good to people, you can be sure blessings are a product. Sometimes you get concerned about profits, but remember, it is people, processes, and profits. So give thought to what you are doing, as you are told. Give thought, so that as we serve humanity in our different capacities, we know that the value is in the service we give, not in the money we get. Because once we put money as the principal consideration in our service, then the tendency is that nobody can pay you adequately for what you do. So I want to wish the graduates well, live well, and for the prayer fraternity, I want to say this. This has been a very long journey to charter. So members, let us ensure and work and ensure that this charter works for us. Let us ensure that the charter is a product that can go out in the market and help the university grow. I also happen to be the Vice Chancellor of ZTech University, and I always say when I come here, if you don't come to Pua, you come to ZTech University. So I want to wish you well and God's blessings, and thank you very much, the chief guest, for honoring us with your presence. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Munene, for those remarks, and also for bringing greetings from other universities as we continue sharing and also giving knowledge to as many people as possible in this country and also beyond. The chief guest, the Director General, Directorate of Criminal Investigations, Mr. John Chikinoti, the moderator, 23rd General Assembly of the PCEA, Light Reverend Patrick Fego Mutai, the Secretary General, the President Church of East Africa, Reverend Dr. Robert Wayenya, the Deputy, who is not with us, out on duty, sent by the moderator of the General Assembly to another place where he was needed, chairman and members of BOT, chairman and members of the governing council, the vice chancellor, the university staff, the alumni and students, the parents, sponsors and guardians, distinguished guests and all protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I join other speakers in welcoming our distinguished guests to the 11th graduation ceremony of the Presbyterian University of East Africa. Thank you for gracing this occasion. I also take this opportunity to give special welcome to our chief guest, Mr. George Kinoti, the DCI of Kenya. Thank you, my brother, for finding time in your busy schedule to be with us here today. May God bless you and continue giving you the strength and wisdom to take this country to greater heights. To our graduates, congratulations on your academic achievements attained after several years of hard work and diligence. Today is a great day. I thank those who supported your journey, your lecturers, support staff, parents, guardians, sponsors, and even well-wishers who touched your life in one way or another. We applaud them for their unwavering support. As we graduate and celebrate you, let me talk about the brain drain subject a bit. The concept refers to a process in which a country or area loses our most talented and educated workers to other countries or areas. Mostly, it is for economic gain. It is my prayer today that all those whom we are graduating or put service ahead of economic gain, like our moderator has just mentioned, I want sincerely to thank all those who are working in this university because the journey has been tough. But I remember the day we were here in 2015, and I remember the Lord challenging us, if nothing else, let us climb up the wall and see what is across there. And by God's grace, we climbed the wall with all the strain, and we found each other on the other side and a few of other goodies. I encourage you, graduates, to share the talents and skills you have gained from your university with your communities that have shaped your growth and development. As you seek to go out to that new job and opening, please remember that you are needed by your communities. In other words, proud back to your communities. I also draw upon the wisdom of the former South African President Nelson Mandela, who said, quote, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead." End of quotes. This is to say that the difference we make to others, including our friends, families, and even the strangers we meet, define who we are. I also remind our graduates that this day marks not just the end of the journey, but a beginning of a lifelong learning journey. It might be a challenging journey, but a very rewarding and fulfilling one if you walk it properly. These are times of great turmoil and stress, and especially when we wrestle with the COVID-19 pandemic. But I see fresh to be graduates who are ready to confront the problem ahead and on. As the Chancellor of this university since 2015, I want to thank the Lord our God for the journey he has walked together with us. Remember when I stood here for the first graduation as a chancellor, when I was installed chancellor, like somebody has said, we were talking of a journey that we were not sure where we were going. But today we thank God because we are fully chartered university. May God help us that we journey this journey, that we put relevance and quality, that we may be able to grow this university to what our dream and our father's dream was. Seeing this university, the Harvard of Africa. We want to be a center of excellence where other universities will be coming to learn from us and see what we are doing so that they can be able also to put it into their own lives. I sincerely, from my heart, thank the President, His Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who on the day of our wanting prayer, the charter said, quote, I am satisfied that the granting of the charter will be of benefit to the advancement of the university education in Kenya. End of quotes. Brothers and sisters, we want to thank His Excellency sincerely. We want to thank you and also thank the Minister of Education. And the promise that which the President saw, the advancement of university education, will be our goal, so that we can produce Kenyans learning and out to serve out there. Lastly, brothers, I urge you graduates to kindly retain connectivity with the prayer as your alma mater. God bless you and congratulations. Amen. I now take this chance to introduce and welcome our chief guest, Mr. Njonji Maingi Kimani, the Director General, Directorate of Criminal Investigations. Mr. Kinoti was born in 1967 in the slums of Meru. It goes without saying that in the slum, life is not easy for most people. He was no exception. No wonder he is a very humble person willing to serve his nation with dedication. He is married with 3 children. The head of DCI at one point wanted to become a priest and attended Pope Pius Seminary School. He joined Kanyakine High School and was a remarkable student who showed great leadership skills as a school captain. After high school, he joined Egerton University and graduated with a bachelor degree in sociology. He also got a master's degree in security with the same university. Personally, I thank God because we shared the same school, but at different times. That is Kanyakine Boys High School. I was there earlier than him by a few years. He worked as a private assistant to the Director of Criminal Investigation before quitting to form the Kanga Squad. This was a unit he formed so as to fight licensing crime. Previously, he had worked as a head of security at the Central Bank of Kenya. He then served as a National Police Service spokesman. 2018, President Uhuru Kenyatta appointed him the Director of Criminal Investigation to replace Mr. Ndegwa Muhoro. 2018, he was among the hundreds of Kenyans who received the award an honor from President Uhuru Kenyatta. He was awarded the Chief of the Order of the Burning Spear, CBS Award. The Director General, Directorate of Criminal Investigation, George Kinoti, is the Kenyan version of the alleged former Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI. Director J. Edna Hoover, who revolutionized the agency into the effective arm of federal law enforcement. The DCI chief ambition was always to fight crime, and this has been clearly depicted by the job he has undertaken since graduating from the university. So it is my honor. I want to call all of us to welcome the Director General, DCI, George Kinoti, our chief guest, to come over and talk to us. Can we all be upstanding?
The University Chancellor. Please. Oh, sorry, I didn't know the protocol. No, for us. I'm very sorry. For us cops, we are used to being given commands. So mine was to be told to. So I thought perhaps that was not my. I really apologize. Thank you, sir. Maybe I could have even started a little bit informally, so that to say that maybe even if I was to introduce myself, is to say what the Chancellor has given a brief of who I am is absolutely true. So I would venture into actually saying, or rather telling you about myself, a brief history. So you have captured it very well, and I say thank you very much. Now that I've been given now the opportunity or the orders or instruction to proceed, I proceed from that point. Cops, this is my first time, so you have to forgive me because some of these protocols are not used to police officers. So, sir, with your permission, then I may start and say I really recognize you, sir, the Chancellor, the PCA Moderator, the PCA Secretary General, all members of the clergy present, the Board of Trustees, the Governing Council, the University Senate, the Management Board, the staff and the students, the alumni, the graduation class of 2020, parents and guardians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Bwana asifiwe. I equally recognize the members of the university community, the media, our online audience, and all other audience who are today with us in different ways in this day that the Lord has given to us. First, may I start by thanking God for this auspicious occasion, the Chancellor and the entire university administration for honoring me to be your chief guest today. I'm really humbled and indeed appreciate. Let me be honest a little bit and say it's not ordinary to see or to find a police officer being given this stature of honor in our country. And trust me, because I'm addressing scholars who dig history in archives and all that, and who I'm going to also to write history, I suspect I may be the first cop to have been given this chance by a university in the history of Kenya. And I always say, if God gives you the chance to be the first, you pray God for another person to have that chance. This is an opening for the police officer. Thank you so much for this honor. On behalf of all my colleagues, the entire National Police Service, the Director of Criminal Investigation, this honor goes to all police officers. That truly, if we try to do that ritual the community is yearning for, or we give our services in as much as we are weak as human beings, in the ritual way, but it is appreciated, equally we can wine and dine with the top intellectuals of the country. You can see now the congregation of the brains, who are, just when I was seated here, I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable. But now, it was the will of God. And I found myself there. Thank you everybody, thank you. I have briefly followed the history of this institution with admiration and a growing tribute. The most outstanding and salient ingredient I have noted is the foundation which sensitively covers the core, thought of this institution. That is resilient and dynamism in an holistic formation that embraces spirituality anchored in the fear of God. I was really impressed when I saw I think if I can, the graduate pledge. What I've seen here, truly, if this is the pledge of the students, the scholars who get from this institution, I wish the Kenyans, the whole world can know what kind of product produced by this university. We may not believe, because honestly, I'm going to venture a little bit in my speech. Is this what we are yearning for? This attribute is what the country is crying for. Maybe as I talk, I'll be a little bit referring to them because I have no idea whatsoever. But I'm so impressed. I'm so happy. I can see hope of our country from what you people are doing in this university. Now to my sons and daughters, my brothers and sisters, because some of the graduates are the age of my children, and some of those who are graduating, some of them, they are my brothers. I say it was sheer extreme hard work and the sacrifice, dedication to reach this important milestone. You are about to open a new chapter of your lives. As you academically labored here, I know God was your pillar and refuge. God saw you through. You prayed and God heard you. The same merciful and loving Father in heaven will firmly hold each and everyone's hand and praise you to your undeserved mission to serve humanity in an enabling environment to ensure where the Lord will place you in the mission, respective missions that we are going to be given. You'll have joy, happiness, you'll have plenty, and you'll never lack. Looking at each one of you, I reminisce my past, close to 3 decades ago, when I was graduating from the university. The Chancellor has actually said, from the time where actually we are alumni of the same school, where I went for my high school, for my A-levels, it is quite a distant past. If I'm talking almost over 30 years. Today, as I said, I'm addressing my sons and daughters. I just sat, as some of you are sitting today here, listening to one speaker after another, just as you have been, observed here, who have come to congratulate and motivate the graduates, just as we are doing to you today. A number of speakers gave moving speeches to encourage us. It was clear most of us were staring up the skies with no idea where was our next move. Yes, you are telling us, but literally, I have no idea. After I put off this gone, celebrations are over. Now, when is the next direction? I remember very well, as I was seated, deep inside me, I was overwhelmed with the faith and trust in God. From my initial call to be a priest, just as the Chancellor just told you, from my bringing up, where I was brought, unfortunately, by only one parent, that was my mother alone. So I thought the best thing to reward my mother was very, very religious. And from how she had brought us, I could not think of anything but serving God like a priest, a pastor. I wanted to be an evangelist, to go and serve people by giving my everything to them. I found myself again, after I finished my university, where I was living in the bishop's house, that is the Diocese of Meru. I was living with the Bishop of Meru, who had adopted me from the time I was a child. That's where I used to stay and working and assisting in the diocesan cleric works and all that. But sometime, as I was reflecting the bishop, because we used to be very close, I told him, I have an idea, I can be a police officer. All of a sudden, he told me, let's go to the chapel and let us pray. We went, it was, I remember very well, lunchtime. We went and prayed. Then he told me, George, your call is not to be a priest, but is to be a police officer. I accepted. And he gave me his blessings. And then I went through the process of becoming a police officer. I joined a police officer as a recruit constable. It was not long before I found myself in the Kenya Police College in Kiganjo as a recruit constable. By then, we used to train for only 6 months, and I graduated as a police constable. A police constable is the lowest rank in the National Police Service. And since my formation of my secondary school was in the minor seminary, where I was training to be a priest, just as you today, my sons and daughters, having this privilege to be trained in a religious university, where we draw a lot in common. From my foundation, where the school is a secondary, but in seminary, it's absolutely a little bit different from other ordinary secondary schools. Today, being so humbled and feeling privileged, in a university, yes, but with that different, where other than the scholarly life, there is the aspect of the spiritual life, where at the end of the day, it's only recognized, as I'll come a little bit further when I'll be talking to you, it's only realized when we start concluding our time in this world. All the beauties of all this, they are there. But as we cross those years, it's when even those who never believed in God, today you have billionaires, millionaires, and others, those even who never believed in the spiritual life, that truly we have a day that we are going to leave this world. That's the time now they start recognizing and accounting for their life. But at times it's quite unfortunate because it may be too be read. Though in the eyes of God, they can never be read. You see, you are founded with the foundation of the fear of God. That is the foundation of the success of every human being in the whole world. With that trust, I scaled up the ranks, and now, from that lowest rank, where as I was seated, where is my mob? Today, I occupy the highest rank in the DCI. In the DCI, this is the only highest level you can reach. What am I drawing my attention to? Outside there, it is not a bed of roses, my sons and daughters. Opportunities will come, some which will not only doubt your academic qualifications, but outrightly may be so discouraged and lose hope. Some opportunities will beckon, and some of you may dismiss them casually as in kasi ya madharau. With all my qualifications, I don't think I can do this work. That's why I drew you to my lowest when I entered the police as a recruit constable. And then my first appointment was a police constable, where my salary was 2,600 shillings. And remember, at my time, university graduates used to enter police college as police inspector cadets, 4 ranks up from where I started. The salary difference was like day and night, without speaking of the privileges and honor. But with humility and trust in God, I kept the faith. We are taught, keep knocking and the door will be opened. Pray and has gone for a bread. The Lord will surely give you a bread. My door was opened. and the past life of get rich, being powerful, being influential, has become our archers here. It has become a disease, a pandemic that is fast devouring our country, which is so beautiful, adored with plenty, cutting to the smithereens the cords of our moral fabric. Today, out of that, we find ourselves when we are talking of stealing with impunity, with abandon, resources of this country that has been entrusted to us through the various responsibilities God has given to us, and the responsibilities we are about to be bestowed. That's why I'm saying most of us has been mitigating this for us in the civil service, those who have been given responsibilities to take care of the government parastatus and all that. Hii ni mali ya serikali. Since ni mali ya serikali, even if I root or I stay with abandon, who cares? Because we have closed our eyes to see who is this serikali. We have forgotten that serikali is that mama mboga, is that lady who is milking one cow there, waking up at 4 a.m. to look for fonda or something, take that milk to a dairy collecting center, hand a few wages or coins to barely take his children, maybe even just to primary school, or even to buy the most modern medicine when the child is sick. But for every labor that person is doing down there, they all pay taxes. These taxes are the ones which are consolidated. When even you buy that packet of sugar, salt, tea leaves, you are paying. There is part of your money that you give the government to consolidate for common good of Kenyans. And that now the money, when we are given the responsibility, because you can imagine, let's say today we tax Kenyans, we are told you about for 7 million to around somewhere there, almost around 50 million. And we say everybody will give 1 shilling. How much is that? Around 50 million, isn't it? A shilling. Just say we have to give 100 shillings, all of us. Now, when all this money is consolidated for our own good, common good, now is what now which is brought to DCI, I George cannot, for the good of putting the development of the good of the people. Then it becomes immediately private money. We start dividing the office. The way we are. We see you suffering, we drive, saying, people have lost hope. In the street, some sleeping in the general hospitals because there is no much facilities to be given and all that. But since we can afford, we close our eyes. So, when you deny these people health, education, infrastructure, shelter, food, security, and above all, the pride of their country, we have killed these people from deep of their hearts. Today, we have witnessed the spirited efforts fraught with all manner of political perils that His Excellency the President has courageously weathered in the war against corruption. Literally, corruption was becoming a way of life and an involving culture. His Excellency the President henceforth, truly today we can say they are manifest. Within a very short period, we cannot record. Merely cutting the iceberg of this corruption monster, we cannot sincerely witness the unbelievable monumental development taking place across the country. And in saying that, if you see that most of the development which are coming across the country, the president has not borrowed much money. For example, you can see the railways, rejuvenation, all the way from Central to Rift Valley to Nyanza. They are being today sponsored by the money which is being realized in our parastatals. Do you know people even have no idea what our government parastatals are? Those are government investment for Kenyans. They are your investment. They are not private. They are Kenyans' investment. Kenya Pipeline Corporation, Kenya Power and Lighting, Kenya Port Authority, Kenya Meat Commission, and so many others. That is people's investment. What they are supposed to produce as profit is supposed to be plowed back to people. That's where we are supposed now to go again starting getting free health care, education, and that institution, for example, when I will be talking about the research money in the universities and other institutions, there is plenty that the government can give back to its people because it's you who have invested in this parastatal. But what do we find today, and what the president has really been fighting? They have been privatized by criminals. They have taken over. Whatever proceeds which come from there, it's go the way it comes. You find a parastatal which is even a monopoly, saying that we even have no money to pay even the workers. You ask. All this money collected, where did that money go? Nobody is able to account. But when we investigate, because that is my work, which has been given, it's stored in billions. But remember, it's not easy. It's so entrenched, so the war has not been easy. And I can assure you, even as we continue, please keep praying for us. God willing, and I assure you, Kenyans will smile one day. And God is going to give us that day. When we shall emancipate ourselves from these who have earned ourselves completely ransom. If I speak here today, we are going to hear outsiders from tomorrow. The corrupt are mighty, but not mightier than God. They will gang against you and employ every means to finish you. Of all the means, you really be appreciated. Take it from me. All what takes us is the prayers of Kenyans. And during the time of prayers, when we are praying for the government, and for those who are trying to give the little they can to Kenya, those are the prayers, take it from me, which keep us moving. Those are the prayers which keep motivating us. But elsewhere there, we are the enemy. We are the marked people. But when God gives you that chance, my brothers and sisters, because that's where you're going, my sons and daughters, when you get this chance, be strong. Hold your trust and faith to God. There is no glory than when God approves your work. Be encouraged that we are taught as Christians that 70 years is all that what we have. Any day or another extra year is just but a bonus. We came in this world naked, and for sure, naked we shall return to our Maker. That is our God. And during our twilight hears, when they come, is when we realize all was vanity. That is what we are taught as Christians. That all along, so we are chasing the wind. But as we close our eyes, when perhaps we are giving our last breath, is when we realize we even have no cupful of the wind in our hands. So it was all in vain. Today, we all woke up in the morning. We took breakfast. I can assure you today, we all take different kind of breakfast, but there is one thing I want to tell you. Because our people have wandered, traveled here, all of you here, who have patronized 5-star hotels. Go today in a 5-star hotel and tell me what kind of breakfast you are going to find. Where we used as children to clap for bread, biscuits, they are put maybe on buffet. But that's where you find the arrowroot, sweet potatoes, boiled beans, tea with no milk and sugar. That's where I'm going to see the richest, the billionaires and millionaires, that's where they are lining up. And then, we are in a 5-star hotel. When you go back to that kiosk, go to Modorwa, go to Ndanda, equalizes everything. Before we are equalized by the soil, where we shall return, having been by the soil. It's only that here, we don't know. Because evil has blinded us to know, in the eyes of God, we are all the same. We enjoy the same privileges. For young ones, please forgive me. For you to be seen to be trendy, you have seen them now, the most expensive clothes they may go, even these, the most rich models, celebrities, they are in tons clothes, isn't it? You have seen they are literally torn completely. And if you go where it is displayed, it's completely torn. I remember, as a child, I really used to feel embarrassed because my mom used to seal for us every day. We have gone, it's so hot. By the time we are going to pray to work in the field, coming back again, she has to seal it again at night, our trousers and our shirts. So we used to feel embarrassed because now you have a torn trouser or a shirt. Today, I can't afford a torn trouser. This is something, as I've said, when you used to go to school, and I remember we took a pumpkin, at times when we are happy, boiled beans, not even fried. We didn't want even to talk to other students because we used to be embarrassed. But today, when I go to a 5-star hotel, that's where we are dining and eating with the top billionaires of this world, all over the world. What am I trying to drive to? My sons and daughters, my brothers. It's so vanity. When God will give you that chance, because you are soon going to be given those chances, please don't forget the road, the path you have gone with your God to reach you where He's going to give you. Our Lord Jesus Christ taught us, love one another as I loved you. Every Easter, as Christians, we celebrate the passion of our Lord Jesus Christ. What do we learn about the Easter period? The passion of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, by absorbing all the humiliation, rebuke, pain, and finally death, Jesus was teaching us the extent love can go. The extent you can go in terms of demonstrating love for one another. Sometimes, a while ago, During the NAP round of anti-corruption symposium at KICC, at the invitation of my colleague, the CEO EACC, I remarked, and I think I can remark this once again, the revolution against corruption starts from our own conscience. When we realize loving one another is loving yourself. For love is the only eternal wealth that shall remain with us. And we shall not be remembered by any other wealth as we conclude our days under the sun. It's the love that you want for others. And the love others want for you. But it's not our mighty possessions, money or property that we wield during our time, was at the time when we were rooting, stealing, without any care, because we have power, that we are not going to be touched by anybody. But God was there and watching. God is going to touch you. Today, Kenya and the entire globe is faced with heightened cases of serious crimes, from shocking homicides, crimes of passion, kidnappings, and abductions, suicides, child abuse, sexual exploitation, rape, human organ trafficking, all the way to an alarming fraud and money laundering, terrorism, and other organized crime. But inasmuch as they are like that, most of all these crimes, the bedrock is the crime of corruption. If we will not be rooting with abandon the resources, the sweat and labor of all Kenyans together, and that money which has been invested by the government is there for all of us, we would manage and reduce crime tremendously. All these crimes I've just mentioned here, most of them are brought up because of helplessness outside there. We interrogate, and I interrogate criminals. I do. There are some, you interrogate a criminal, you start crying. Tells you, officer, as you're about to take me to court, let me tell you my side of the story. When you write condemning a statement, you just find your pen going down, you start, those are emotional. For example, myself, I'm emotional. I don't hide them. Tears start flowing. You ask yourself, why do I do now? Some could be very aggravated, like murder. Yes. But then what do you do? But since now you have to enforce the law, you have no option but to take this person for the court to dispense justice as the way is prescribed in law. But in your deep in your heart, you're asking yourself a lot of questions. So, once a country manages to eliminate this one, I can for sure tell you, the rest by 50%, they already solved without firing a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember when at the Crusaders of these Vice, we actually saw the defiance. Even us outside there, who have been tasked with this responsibility, it is not easy. So what we have realized is to appeal for collective, concerted effort by all of us as a country. A resolve and effort. Just sometimes you heard there was some terrible corruption by criminal gangs like the mafia of Italy. But their concerted effort, their collective resolve that even if it's to die, if that's the will of God, for me to die within this crusade, so be it. They fought and they won the war. we too, as a country, can bring this monster to an end, if not to tame or manage it. There's one columnist who contributes as a writer in big things, and if I can quote him from his web portal, saying that corruption assumes many forms, from bribery, embezzlement, money laundering, tax evasion, among others. These are all the kind of crimes you have been hearing us investigating and taking people to court, having been established that they are culpable of the same. But whatever shape corruption takes, corruption always comes at someone's expense, often leading to weaker institutions, less prosperity, denial of basic services, less employment, and more environmental disasters. According to the United Nations, fighting corruption remains a global concern because it is found in both rich and poor countries. And the evidence shows that it hurts the poor disproportionately. But Pope Francis believes that corruption is paid by the poor. I've just said it. As he pointed out in a morning mass held in Vatican in the year 2014, I wholly agree with the Holy Father that sentiment that the poor, who mostly rely on public services, as they are unable to afford privately provided services, become more vulnerable to the vice. If the war on corruption is to be won, then it must be fought collectively. I repeat again. I reiterate that everyone who loves our country has a responsibility to desist from any form of corrupt practices while not standing by, but standing up to acts of corruption. Anyone and all of us can and must make a difference. We must not think that we are at the mercy of corruption, and neither should the vice become desirable as a way of life. Corruption is not the responsibility of the law enforcers only, but collective across all the sectors of the society. We must all unite against corruption in our everyday life and express our abhorrence. In this regard, I challenge the universities and all the relevant scholarly institutions to invest in the research on corruption, particularly on the criminal justice system. I'm so excited when I found that this university, you're offering a degree in criminology and fraud investigation. Criminology and fraud investigation, if I can say, all this kind of sickness as far as corruption is concerned is through fraud. And if this is being offered in this university, I'm the happiest man. Because, as I'll say here, if we start undertaking proper research on what really ails our criminal justice system, if I can remember, most countries, how they fought this vice, it is by having their criminal justice system saying we shall be the people. I'll come back to that in a very short while. Now, we have professional bodies, and I'm proud to say we have one of our key professional body, PCAK, the Professional Criminologists Association of Kenya, where fortunately, as I stand here, the Chancellor of this renowned and respected university is our patron. This is the first crucial hope of any country to win the war against corruption. Going into the depth of asking yourself, what is the law? What is that? Your criminal justice system. That now we have established this, Parasato, the investment of Kenyan is going into individual pockets. And it is established, it is so and so. And when we take them to the court of law, what happens? If it is under the control of the cartels, that is the criminal justice system, then the country is doomed. The system comprises of investigation agencies, prosecutorial agencies, courts, or judiciary. Figuratively, I can say they represent the three pots. Justice is the food for Kenyans. If one pot is compromised, the two can only hold the pot. If the two are compromised, one cannot hold the pot. If the three are compromised, then we may say it's damnation. No more hope. To successfully place a pot and cook all the three must be firm and independently standing toward the pot. As I said, if the three, God forbid, get into the dining table of the cartels, then, as I repeat again, is the damnation of the country. There is a lot that is not understood in this system. It is not a preserve of lawyers, simply because it is a legal system towards pursuit of justice. I will be the happiest person to see our young, bright brains here attending open criminal courts and witnessing the proceedings and get executed. The reason I'm saying this is where you get the astuteness, smartness, thoroughness, and preparedness of the investigating team and the prosecutors versus the defense, and the impartiality of the courts. Now, you know, we have left this system without us understanding. That's when somebody will start and condemn. Oh, the DCI, you have investigated these cases, 10, 20, 100. What can you show about them? Yes, you have done it. But because Kenyans don't understand, the advantage which is taken by the same cartels who control so many mediums, propaganda and all that, the one who is dying for Kenyans becomes the one to be crucified because Kenyans don't know the truth. It's my prayer. When I mean about research, church universities, and I'm very happy that church faculties and offering church degrees like that. Please, it's the time now. You took seriousness. If there is nobody who has ever told you today, I'm saying this, and I'm saying to all universities and all scholarly institutions, please go back to research. And the research, or rather the empirical findings, which you are going to realize from your scholarly work, is going now to assist the oversighting bodies, and they may come in a very sentimental way to touch even the hearts of who we know. Maybe they're in the system, but they belong to the system of the corrupt and the cartels. Just as it was in the mafia. You find the police in mafia, prosecutors, mafia, courts, mafia, almost everybody, until they stand there coming back again to the cry of their people. So, this will assist in ending the blame game and expose the party that is guilty of selling their fellow Kenyans for the 30 pieces of silver. And they say that because if I'm investigating a case and I didn't find any evidence, you people will not know. But I'm saying that because there's a price I'm paying for. If anything goes to court and some other things do happen, who will know what happens? But when you take this research and studies, you are going to tell Kenyans the truth. The failure is the investigation agencies. We are not afraid at all, even if it's me, as a DCI. Problem. Kenyans fact. Because in that way, we are going to be accountable. We shall not pray to the ignorance of Kenyans again. Please come to our head. Institutions like this, the scholars, the brains who are with us today, come to the hand of your fellow Kenyans. Use the brains that God has, and let us answer in the court of the people. I assure you, for all materials, this is an open court. Don't be told you will not be given any assistance in terms of your scholarly or research work. It's open court. Today you go to the court there, you're just going to enter and be like any other person who is written to the proceeding. It's open. They are rarely held in camera. And all the documents which you give, they are public documents. The moment a statement is recorded and somebody has been taken to court, it becomes a public document. And under the Constitution, there is the section, the article, which you deserve information and you will be given. So I can assure you, there will be all facilitation of whatever information, document, material that you may wish to have in as far as your research area is concerned. That one, I can assure you, no government institution today is going to refuse you access or opportunity to complete your study. Because it's the results which are going to come out of that, which are going to assist Kenyans. Why are we been researching on medicine and all that? But rarely we say we are researching about crime. We have institutions which are being given funding for various agriculture and all that. But now the greatest, which is crime, we handle in serious research as far as crime is concerned. This is when I myself am going to be an advocate for the greatest funding of the country, scholarly institution. Those who are undertaking crime research to be every favored. Because the moment you save crime in a country, you will have it easy or no other things. And you will have minimized the problems of the country in a arm. Take it from me. The moment you have a peaceful, safe, and secure country. The church and all worship groups equally have a fundamental role in war against corruption. Our priests, pastors, and the clergy in general equally are supposed to be the shepherds of the faithful whom God has given them the responsibility to rule and shepherd. But most of them, what we find today, instead of most of them being the people to rebuke us, to take us to task, to make us account, because they are chosen by God. I want them to be a priest myself. But today I'm not. And I usually tell people to be chosen by God, to be a shepherd of his people, is the greatest honor that God can give you as his child, among other children. You have just been chosen the way in our class, we can't have all of us being prefect. But we can now only have one prefect. So we find ourselves as a community or a society. Then we are chosen by God to be a priest, to be a pastor, to be a shepherd of his children. So it's a great responsibility. But now, when some really for the grace of God, surely knowing what you are entertaining, even in the eyes of God, in your own conscience. You know, this is not worship we have come for here. It's matter of material adoration. Sababu tumeletewa pesa. That's why I drew from the one goal. Remember, we are all equal. No matter what we get, these billions and millions we have, we shall leave them here. And those years when we come, as we cross our last, our conscience go back again. What is it that I did with the responsibility God gave to me? Once you are shepherd of the children of God. But when that man is brought in BCD, it is, I hear they are baptized the Robin Hood. You all scholars, you know Robin Hood. And then the offertory, the Arambe money, and the teeth. No, see, it's called the 10% or something like that. Even if they steal, they share with us. Then it is legitimized. I'm saying it is time as Kenyans, we all come out in our numbers as Christians we are, and God-fearing country we are, and hold a day of prayer, invoking anything spiritual to beseech God to touch the hearts of such clergy. And they hear the voice of God, and they see that their sheep are crying upon them. Please rescue us from these marauding barons and dragons corruption, who have taken all our sweat and labor. When we are expecting this, we won't get because they have gone to invest elsewhere. I wish I can tell you some things. You will be shocked. But when it comes to that, and God hears our prayer, we say collectively, all of us, we stand and say, as in the professional Criminal Association of Kenya says, crime must fall, we say this verse must fall. And one day, I can see it coming soon. The war will be won, and the economic emancipation from the shackles of these thugs will be realized. Now, to my sons and daughters, and brothers and sisters graduating today, who consist of the most potential sharp-brains, I continue repeating that, you can move mountains and tremendously fashion this country into a greater economy and a safe habitat for future generations. I implore you, and I give you my blessings. Maybe for the first time I'm being given a corpse blessing. Wherever you get engaged, wherever God is going to give you the engagement, for your good and for your country, be an agent of change. The change of good for your brothers and sisters. Don't let anybody cry for justice, but bring justice to those who are in need. Let us not lose the grace of God because of temporary and passing pressures of this world. A world we know very well is not our home. Have an open mind. Use your skills and which you have acquired in this great institution to do something for yourself. I can assure you that God will bless the works of your hands, and your labor will not be in vain. There are those who will self-employ, others will get employed. If some of you are not already in employment, but whatever work that God is going to give you after this, because I know all of you will be engaged, brand that work the mission of God. In whatever that responsibility God is going to give, it is the mission of God. God has given you a mission that you'll account for. When that our time comes, remember, you may not account to anybody, but you account to your Maker, who has given you that opportunity. Why are you the ones who have been chosen to be here, and those who are graduating through online and all that, opportunity to be the ones who have that rank, that opportunity. God has a purpose for it. And whatever God does, God knows what He's doing. I caution you that there exist many fraudsters there as you look for opportunities out there. So I need to mention this to you, who are waiting to prey on your sweat in pretend that they can secure well-paying jobs for you. They use fake online accounts. They will lure you into interviews within an existing companies, a process that culminates into you losing your money and valuables. Or worse, those trafficking to distant foreign countries. Yes, it is happening. Only to find yourself perhaps the promise which you paid, the paying process. After you have paid, you are handed somewhere in the airport. Now maybe people don't understand well. Already they have your money. During that entire process, they pocket them. That was. And then when being taken there is some other amount of money waiting for them because of delivery. But then delivering there perhaps maybe a slave, a property of pressure, maybe guinea pigs. You know what guinea pigs in science, because you are scholars, what they are used for. Or doing some other unthinkable cause that may be hard for me to mention. My sons and daughters, we don't want you back dead or traumatized. Please be a little bit careful, consult a lot. We as the National Police Service, the DCI, are always at the ready in the event of any opportunity that comes, but you doubt it, please come to us. I repeat again, you have been educated in a religious institution where God is revered. The spiritual culture, values and principles that regulated you will be the different employers will be looking for as an added advantage. As a senior civil servant who rose from the lowest bottom, I can confirm to you it is better to encounter a servant who fears God than one who doesn't fear God. But here, I'm not talking about the Pharisees, the pretenders. I'm talking of those who keep trying every day, despite our human weakness, to account to God for our everyday services. That is, knowing our weakness as human beings, none of us who is holy. Even Jesus Christ himself said, I'm not holy other than my Father in heaven. But for those who keep accounting, the way I usually even tell my fellow police officers, maybe you are a traffic police officer standing on the road. You're the one who is looking for people not to have accidents or some other misfortunes or misadventure during the time they are driving. But from morning to evening, you are being cursed by everybody. In the evening, what you take is curses. Maybe the money you are carrying, yes. But none who give you a blessing. Then you ask yourself, what was my day in my accountability? Say they're on like that rich man whose the banks were full, bursting with everything. Said, now I can eat and drink, umefika. Then the Lord said, thank you, umefika, yes. Today is when your soul is needed for accounting. It is over. Now that money, which you are going to live like those banks, but all through it was curses. Oh, ukifika hiyo masaitani wako wapi? Hata katoto kanaanza kuona hata the father or mother start fidgeting. Oh God, how do we pass that? Instead of being symbol of love, symbol of humanity. When they find the presence of a police officer and you feel secure and drive with grace and smile. To see them is the opposite. Ask them, how do you account for that day, for that week, for that month, and for the period we'll have maybe finished, because we shall not be police officers for the rest of our life. God willing shall retire, if we shall not, by attrition pass maybe in between before we retire. And we'll go and join the community there. How do you feel? As Christians again knowing that measure, you'd wish to be measured with. What you'd wish others to do for you, did you do that during the time of your incubancy? You used to cause tears, fear. Now you are the one accounting for that. No matter what you have accumulated, take it from me. During those times when they come, they will be meaningless. And I go back again, is the time you are going to realize their vanity. So I'm saying, in our respective responsibilities that we are being given, please make sure from morning to evening, you account for that day. Not yourself, but where we are ultimately going after our life is over in this world. Between you and your own God. Don't wait for anybody to say, cannot is good. But I know, that time I will be alone. Maybe it's the body, of course. The soul will have joined the rod. If I will be wrapped. You are wrong. What is your conscience telling you? This is where I'm telling you. As you live, please know that this greater and the opportunities waiting for you may not count much, but it is the good that you have done within that period, no matter how small, which is going to count. I conclude my remarks taking cognizance of your academic calendar, which actually was interrupted, and I know most of you actually finished your courses through online, and I'm very sure that you really labored. But God granted you the opportunity to find yourself among those people today who the university will crown with the powers to read and to do all that appertains to your degrees, diplomas, and certificates. Before I finish that, I kindly ask perhaps when we start the next intake of PhD people as far as criminology and fraud is concerned, registers me as the student number 1. God willing. And we are first people to start. Thank you so much for taking much of your time, but I felt it good to share with you, because as I said, it's rare for a police officer to get such an opportunity. I want to get a president for my colleagues. Don't fear. Kenyans are so loving. They are so accepting. Unless we hurt them, unless we don't serve them the way they expect us to serve, they love us. Thank you very much. On behalf of all the police officers, for having us that much, for giving me this chance, which, as I say, perhaps I'm the only one, but not the last one. We are going to see more and more interacting and engaging the public, where equally, it's not me only who will be talking. I wish it could have been interactive so that also I could hear from your side what you would be having for me. Then from there, we shall be making our country great, beautiful, and a worth environment to be proud to call our country. On my behalf, and that of the entire National Police Service, and the entire DCI fraternity, I wish the Presbyterian University of East Africa Court of 2020 all the best of God blessings, prosperity in your future endeavors. Thank you, and God bless you.
Please let us all stand. Hello, let us, hello. Thank you very much, Director General, Mr. George Kennedy, for those encouraging words and inspiration. We also wish that God bless you and your team, and may the work you do for this country glorify His holy name. Please remain standing a bit just to freshen, because what we are going to do, we are going to take a short prelude of music from the band, and then after that we shall admit our graduates into graduate status and then conclude. So please be seated. May the band give us a prelude of music, about 5 to 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, the band, entertainment. And after those beautiful and encouraging messages to our graduates, may I now take this opportunity to invite the Deputy Vice Chancellor for the presentation. Graduates, welcome.
Thank you, Registrar. Thank you, Registrar. It is that moment now that we admit our graduates in the various programs to the various degrees and diplomas and certificates for which they have qualified. And before we get into that, I would like to ask all our HODs seated on that side and Palmarians to please stand. Please stand. The heads of departments. Those are our heads of departments who are going to present the various degrees to the Chancellor, sir. And then please be seated. We also have our staff who have been working very hard with these HODs for us to realize these days during a very difficult moment. Please stand wherever you are so that the members can recognize you. Please stand. Stand for a moment. Thank you very much. Our management also, members of management who have supported the various HODs and the members of staff so ably. We thank you very much. We have our support staff also who did not stand, who support this academic team. Please stand wherever you are. Stand. Thank you very much. Here we have the results of what we have been doing, and it is our proudest moment, Mr. Chancellor, sir, to present now the graduates for the conferment of various degrees. And they will be presented in the order that I shall call. First of all, we will start with the degree programs. So we conclude, then we will go to the diploma and finish with the certificate programs. So I now call upon the HOD of Business Administration. For those graduates who are here, you can stand where you are because you are representing the many we have out there in Kenya, in East Africa, Africa, and indeed the world. Since this event is virtual, they are also together with us, and probably a few of them will be able to don their gowns wherever they are, their academic regalia, and then share this moment with us. But you represent them, so please stand when you are called. I start with the head of department, Bachelor of Business Administration, Dr. Samuel Oresi. Just a moment before you start Oresi. Mr. Chancellor, sir, in the year 2020, the following 385 graduates whom I have the honor to present to you satisfy the Senate for the conferment of degrees of the Presbyterian University of East Africa. And we start with the Bachelor of Business Administration presented by Dr. Samuel Oresi. Please proceed.
Bachelor of Business Administration, second class honors, upper division, Adamson, Akumu, Anota, Atemi, Kevin, Dairi, Frida, Gabriel, Gadongo, Gituma, Wantai, Cherono, Kari, Keraita, Kimomo, Kimuru, Kinyanjui, Kipkoech, Kidinji, Kobia Eric, Kobia Lydia, Koril, Limungi, Makori, Mark, Mathere, Meme, Miriti, Mochi, Mumo, Mundia, Mungadia, Muridi, Musioka, Mutea, Mudhi, Mutiridia, Mutuma, Mwale, Nachi, Ndungu, Nganga, Nkirate, Ntela, Nyaga, Nyambura, Omusugu, Omwenga, Otenda, Kala, Sayori, Sedai, Sililus, Valentine, Wamaida, Wanyama. Second class honors, lower division, Cyprian, Gitonga, Jafet, Kimunge, Raole, Simba, Washira, Wafula, and Wambua.
Thank you very much, HOD Business. Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Dr. Robert Bituka.
Bachelor of Computer Science, second class honors, upper division, Kipchumba, Kailo, Sayanga, Kiprukuri. Second class honors, lower division, Karani.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bituka. Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education, Dr. John Wahanu.
Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood Education, second class honors, upper division, Kiura, Ndege, Nderi, Sunday. Bachelor of Education Arts, first class honors, David, Gitui, Kature, Kihara, Mutisia, Ogano, Paul Frida, Wafula. Second class honors, upper division, Adika, Adolwa, Aguta, Akinyi, Albert, Amanya, Amolo, Anastasia, Andrew, Asuma, Benedict, Bore, Bosire, Buri, Chebet, Chebonya, Chelangat, Chemtai, Chepkemoi, Chepkoech, Chepteli, Chepleting, Chepngeno, Cherobon, Siamati, David Priska, David Tina, Ebenyo, Edwin, Esebwe, Gashingiri, Gaikaria, Gishovi, Gituo, Gitonga, Indura, Ireri, Jacqueline, James Lydia, Jebichi, Jemtai, Joey, Juma, Kagwi, Kamande, Kamanza, Kamutara, Kagongo, Karani, Karimi, Karithi, Kadure, Kaveza, Kawira, Kemboi, Kemunto, Kerubo, Keter, Kio, Kilonzi, Kimenje, Kinya, Kinya Elosi, Kioko, Kiplimo, Kipsese, Kiringa, Kiuria Mwende, Kobana, Kobia, Korir, Kundu, Kuria, Kwoba, Lagat, Makunyi, Manyonge, Maritim, Marwa, Mawia, Mbaire, Mbaya, Mbayachi, Mbayaki, Mbogo, Moenga, Mogaka, Mogere, Mohagachi, Momanyi, Momanyi Ogwana, Mora, Motari, Muatha, Mushira, Mushiri, Mugambi, Mugo, Mukami, Mukura, Muli, Munene, Mungathia, Munge, Munyao, Munyua, Muriungi, Musomba, Musuruve, Mutai, Mutethia, Mudoni, Mudui, Mutimba, Mutinda, Mutua, Mutuku Mwoti, Mutuku Mwikali, Mutura, Mweu, Mwita, Mwongeli, Muzee, Namai, Ndiema, Ndwiga, Ngetich, Njagi, Njagi Grace, Njagi Jacob, Njeru, Kelostin, Njeru, Njiku, Njiru, Njiru Joyce, Njoka, Njue, Njue Murimi, Njuguna, Njuki, Njuki Simon, Nviga, Nyabuto, Nyaga, Nyaga, Odoro, Ogoti, Oino, Okelo, Okoth, Riungu, Ruga, Ruto, Sang, Cheryl, Siata, Sifuna, Simiu, Simiu Msungu, Simwa, Dhara, Victor, Wafula, Wairia, Wairiuko, Wambugu, Wangari, Wangari Lazarus, Wangeshi, Wanjala, Wanjala Wechuli, Wanzala. Second class honors, lower division, Nyaboke Ondieki. Bachelor of Education, Science, first class honors, Adenya Cheruto, Kiamba, Korir, Lasiti, Musumba. Second class honors, upper division, Abel, Achieng, Andoi, Ayenda, Bariu, Chepkemoi, Chepkirui, Chepkirui Milka, Chepkoech, Chepto, Cecilia, Emathe, Gasheri, Gadaia, Gatwiri, Gitemba, Jelimo, Kalovwe, Kariuke, Katheo, Kaunda, Haemba, Kigundu, Kimandi, Kinyua, Kiplagat, Kiprop, Kiprotich, Kiptanui, Kiraithe, Kiusia, Kowech, Kundu Nafla, Kwinga, Ligaga, Lukoe, Maitaria, Makena, Manyeso, Mariaka, Matuta, Mbae, Mbuvi, Mishira, Miriti, Misati, Mogaka, Moruri, Mugela, Mukiti, Mulama, Mungatia, Musioka, Mudoni, Mutiso, Mutisia, Mwihaki, Nabibia, Namaswa, Nandemu, Njenga, Nyaga, Nyagaka, Nyanyuki, Oluoch, Onyego, Ouma, Owuor, Peter Mbithe, Shinjili, Thairu, Vincent Kinara, Wagura, Wairobi, Wambua, Wanjiru, Wanyoike, Woliama. Second class honors lower division, Bunduki, Ishmael, Kimtai, Njeru.
Thank you very much, HOD Education. Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and Fraud Management, Dr. Gerard Majani.
Bachelors of Arts in Criminology and Fraud Management, second class honors, upper division, Chepkwony, Thuku, Yvonne.
Thank you very much, Dr. Majani. Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, Mr. Benjamin Makau.
Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Mass Communication, second class honors, upper division, Joroge Wanjiku Lydia.
Thank you very much, HOD. Bachelor of Theology, Reverend Dr. Charles Kibicho.
Bachelor of Theology, first class honors, Moganda. Then second class honors, upper division, Bartholomew, Shege, Eshuku, Githaiga, Ikiugo, Kahura, Kalemi, Kariuki, Keago, Kibera, Kimani, Maina, Mugendi, Mogo, Mureithi, Diko, Ngamanyai, Jaloge, Okashi, Rohio, Waboi, Wajohi. Then we have second class honors, lower division, minor, Walwade.
Please continue, Bachelor of Arts in Counseling Psychology.
Okay. We were hoping that that would be T. Yeah.
Who will present the T? Please, T, come forward. It's just one name that needs to be presented. Otherwise, Reverend Kibicho, please present. Please. Two students, two graduates.
Are they? So there are just two. Bachelor of
Arts in Counseling Psychology.
in counseling psychology, we have two of them, Guaro and Thiongo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, HOD. I now call upon the Chancellor for conferment of degrees to these graduates. Mr. Chancellor, sir. are here, please stand. The graduates who are here, please stand wherever you are. The others will be standing with you. And now the Chancellor will confer the degree upon you.
By the authority vested in me and that of the Presbyterian University of East Africa, I admit you to the mentioned degree that has been presented to you and give you power to read and to do all that appertains to the said degree in the relevant discipline.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Sir. Please remain standing. You are now the bona fide graduates of the Presbyterian University of East Africa. This thing you see here is called tassel. Make sure it's on the right at the moment. All those with the tassel on the left, put it on the right. Now all together let us turn it to the left. So you are now the bona fide graduates of this university. Congratulations, you may be seated. Mr. Chancellor, sir, in the year 2020, the following 229 graduates, whom I have the honor to present to you, satisfied the Senate for the award of diplomas of the Presbyterian University of East Africa, and I now call upon the heads of departments to read their names. Diploma in Clinical Medicine, Mr. Mwehia.
Diploma in Clinical Medicine, Surgery and Community Health, one student, Mutama Moses Kisa.
Thank you very much. Diploma in Registered Nursing, Mr. Mwenda.
Yeah, Diploma in Registered Nursing, Aris Kanana, Moimi Jackson, Mungai Anna, Mongela Alex in absentia, Nekesa Purity.
Thank you, Mr. Mwenda. Diploma in Business Administration, Dr. Alessi.
Diploma in Business Administration, Distinction, Wambua Irene, Wambua Jackson. Credits, Ithai, Kendi, Kavakali, Kinywa, Kioria, Lerapo, Masharia, Magiri, Maro, Mugambi Joyce, Mugambi Letsi, Muriungi, Mudama, Mudengi, Muduri, Mutiso, Njau, Nkata, Nyamolo, Nyangena, Nzuki, Stephen, Satisfactory, Kiule, Lotan, Kotoi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oresi. Diploma in Mass Communication. Please, if you are here, stand as your name is called, because you are standing on behalf of those who are out there.
Diploma in Journalism and Mass Communication, credit Gitonga Kawira, Derito Elijah, Ouma John, Thiongo Jacinda, Wairobi Telly. Diploma in Public Relations, credit Chepto Emily, Chesang Beatrice, Kirui Bet, Kilinji Winfred, Mwangi Boniface, Nyoike Eric, Rotich Faith. Diploma in Social Work and Community Development. Credit Kagwiria Monica, Kaumaeru Monica, Kimathi Kendi, Mithika Mwendwa, and Ongaki Peter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Macau. Diploma in Business Information Technology.
Diploma in Business Information Technology, Satisfactory, Majok. Diploma in Computer Science, Credit, Chavet, Kopia, Maida, Kirothe, Richard. Satisfactory, Murithi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bituka. Diploma in Hospitality Management. Juliet.
School of Hotel and Tourism, Diploma in Hospitality Management, Credit, Murithi, Jen, Manjiko. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. Diploma in Criminology and Fraud Management. Dr. Majani.
School of Law, Diploma in Criminology and Fraud Management. Distinction, Gasheru Zakaria Munga. Credit, Apeyan Veronica, Ekasi Otenge, Kucha Ferdinand, Maina Kennedy, Murage John, Ndiwa Nyangiwo, Nyandieka Justice, Saidi Moses, Samoe Moses, Wanja James. Satisfactory, Kariuki Julia Watayo.
Thank you, Dr. Majane. Diploma in Theology. Reverend Dr. Kibisho.
Diploma in Theology. And we are grateful that our moderator is allowed here to hear his students. Wadhiga du Sabimana, Gadhiru, Githuku, Kamau, Kanyete, Kialie, Kimodo, Kileka, Macharia, Benjamin, Macharia Bogo, Makara, Mapema, yuko hapo, Marete, Madhenge, Madheli, Babazi, Bai, Meu, Mogo, Muguru, Muiro, Muirore, Moronge, Mudodeki, Mwangi, Nancy, then Mwangi Wapui, Dege, Gige, Jaria, Joka, Juguna, Osumo, Liungu, Washira, Zakayo. Satisfactory, Maina, Mutudu, Raigoti. Diploma in Counseling Psychology, Credit, Batilo, Jepkomoi, Maina, Mwaura.
Thank you very much, Reverend Kibisho. Diploma in Theological Education by Extension.
Advanced Diploma in Theological Education by Extension, Chege, Festus, Gakunyi, Gilbert, Gitahi, Gitau, Githae, Gitonga, Joseph Susan, Karaoke, Karaoke Esther, Kiambi, Kiambi Jennifer, Kiambi Joseph, Kiana, Kibutu, Kimani, Kidhinji, Kuria, Maina, Maina Beth, Bugua, Motanya, Mugambi, Muhia, Mukabi, Mukunya, Mungai, Murage, Murioki, Mwangera, Mwangi, Mwangi Jacob, Mwangi Michael, Naivasha, Ndegwa, Ndegwa Peterson, Derito, Dirangu, Gatia, Gulimu, Jenga, Jenga Paul, Jiriri, Nyamu, Patrick, Rigu, Wainaina, Wakaria, Wamba, Wambui, Waweru. Diploma in Guidance and Psychological Counseling, Ephraim Washira, Gichebe, Gitangu, Gitau, Gitau Mary, Gidinji, Kamau, Kamau Monica, Kamoche, Karambu, Karanja, Kariuki, Kiboi, Kihanya, Kihungu, Kimani, Kinyua, Kiondo, Karingidi, Macharia, Maina, Maina Julius, Mambo, Mureke Emma, Madhenge, Matiko, Mbatia, Bogwa, Mugambi, Mugo, Muguru, Muita, Mukuru, Murigu, Murioki, Murongaru, Mutahi, Mudhama, Mudhoni, Mudhumbi, Mwai, Mwangi, Mwangi Peter, Mwehia, Derito, Dirango, Gari, Gige, Godho, Gugi, Goge Martha, Goge Rosemary, Njogu, Joroge, Njuguna, Nyaga, Nyambura, Dhungu, Titi Winnie, Wainaina, Wambogo, Wambogo Stanley, Wajiko, Wajiko Lydia, Weru.
Please, all those present here who have been awarded the diploma, please stand. Those representing our graduates, I now call upon the Chancellor to award the diploma to you.
By the authority vested in me and that of the Presbyterian University of East Africa, I admit you to the mentioned diploma that has been presented to you and give you power to read and do all that appertains to the same diploma in the relevant discipline.
Please remain standing. You are now the bona fide graduates of the Presbyterian University of East Africa. Congratulations, you may be seated. Mr. Chancellor, sir, in the year 2020, the following 103 graduates whom I have the honor to present to you satisfy the Senate for the award of certificates of the Presbyterian University of East Africa. Certificate in Business Administration.
Certificate in Business Administration, Arono, Yungu, Ukia, Oita.
Thank you. Certificate in computer science. Dr. Bituka. Please stand if you are present here and you are being awarded a certificate.
Certificate in computer science. Kelima, Kiunga, Uriungi, and Nyaga.
Thank you. Certificate in public relations.
Certificate in public relations. Bore Daniel, Dao Eunice, Dungu Grace, Nyambura Jane, Rotich Eliud, Wanjala Pepela. Certificate in journalism and mass communication. Mungania James, Murithi Elijah, Risanjo Tracy. Certificate in social work and community development, Karimi Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Macau. Certificate in food, beverage, production, services, and sales management.
Certificate in food and beverage production, service and sales management, Kiare Eva Wairimo, Ocheng Rehema Atieno.
Thank you very much. Certificate in criminology and fraud management, Majani.
Certificate in criminology and fraud management. Kaboshi Sheila Ruth. Kibate Rono Julius. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Majade. And certificate in theology. Certificate in theology.
Certificate in theology, Bernard Bukuru Charles Diba Ekatapai Gachehe Gadaro Gichinga Gitali Githuku Iledi Judge Kabera Kaguma Kahage, Kamau Alex, Kamau Caroline, Kamau Papesio, Karanja Evans, Karaja Nahashon, Kariuki Duncan, Kariuki Una, Kennedy, Kimani, Kimanzi, Kimemia, Kimoyo, Kileru, Kithinji, Kosgei, Teginoroni, Macharia, Maina, George, Maina Juria, Maina Paul, Mari, Mawera, Buba, Bodo, Mereti Alex, Mereti David, Mereti Lewis, Mokiri, Caroline, Mukiri Stephen, Murray, Mugai Dennis, Mugai Shem, Murithi, Muriuki, Mutugi, Mwanza, Mwanzia, Mwarali, Mweti, Nasan, Nchene, Datho, Degwa, Deke, Dongo James, Dongo John, Nganga, Gena, Jugona, Karagapari, Nyaga, Mizabimana, Peba, Salingo, Wahome, Wabua, Wambui, Wageshi, Wagogun, Wangui, Waji, Wajiro Daniel, Wajiro Joffrey, Wajohi, Wanyoike, Waweru Eric, Waweru Flores.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kebisho. Will all those receiving certificates, those representing that group, and they are here, please stand. Please stand wherever you are. The certificate candidates, I now call upon the Chancellor to award the certificates to you.
By the authority vested in me and that of the Presbyterian University of East Africa, I admit you to the mentioned certificates that has been presented to you and give you power to read and do all that appertains to the same certificates in the relevant disciplines.
Please remain standing. You are now bona fide graduates of the Presbyterian University of East Africa. Congratulations. You may be seated. Thank you very much for that interlude. Now we shall administer the clinical officer's oath. First of all, starting with the clinical officer's oath by Nicholas Mejia, and the nurses, followed by the nurses' pledge, which would be administered by James Mwenda, and we shall finally take the loyalty pledge from Dr. Charles Kebisho. Starting with the clinical officer's oath, please proceed.
Mutamu, Richard, Mr. Chancellor, sir, clinical officers are given the responsibility to do the proper diagnosis and treatment of patients. This is a very delicate job, and so they have to take an oath, a professional oath of office, so that when they are treating patients, they adhere to this oath. And so the student has to take an oath, and my colleague here, who has also been teaching him together with me, stands here as a witness. And so he will say after me, the solemn promise. I solemnly pledge in the presence of the Almighty God,
I solemnly pledge in the presence of Almighty God,
my family, my teachers, my peers, and all those gathered here,
my family, my teachers, my peers, and all those gathered here,
to consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
to consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
I shall practice my profession with conscience and dignity.
I shall practice my profession with conscience and dignity.
The health of my patients shall be my first consideration.
The health of my patients shall be my first consideration.
I shall be ethical and nothing but ethical.
I shall be ethical and nothing but ethical.
I shall respect secrets that have confided in me, and I shall not make it private or public gossip.
I shall respect secrets that have been confided in me, and I shall not make it private or public gossip.
I shall maintain by all means in my powers the honor and noble tradition of my profession.
I shall maintain by all means in my power the honor and noble tradition of my profession.
My colleagues shall be my sisters and brothers.
My colleagues shall be my sisters and my brothers.
I shall seek to establish mutual and respectful working relations with other health professionals.
I shall seek to establish mutual and respectful working relations with other health professionals.
I shall maintain the utmost respect for human life.
I shall maintain the utmost respect for human life.
And I shall maintain the highest standards of professional conduct.
And I shall maintain the highest standards of professional conduct.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I now call upon the nurses who have graduated today. Those who are present, please come forward. Please come forward. Come with your French. Yeah, stand here. And I also call my colleagues in the Department of Nursing, especially those who are nurses. Please come forward. As they come, as the Chancellor said, this oath is an oath that was cited by the founder of modern nursing, Madam Florence Nightingale, during the Crimean War, when she actually devoted her life in serving the soldiers and the people around them. And from that time, there's an oath which is taken by every nurse before she practices her profession. During the Crimean War, the Florence Nightingale used to go with a candle. Those days there was no electricity, but she used to go with a candle around every bed, checking on every patient, and we do the same. There's the light she used. There is a... Okay. We are going to light one another's candle. Once you get one, light for the other one. You can assist lighting for the graduates. Once yours is lighted, please use the same to light for the graduates. Thank you. Now we are going to cite the prayers together, but I will read and then you follow after me. You are going to mention your name. When I say I, James Mwenda, you do this, you say I, and mention your name. I, James Mwenda, do solemnly swear before the Almighty God and in the presence of this assembly to observe the Nurses' Code of Ethics and Conduct. I shall faithfully practice my profession in accordance with the laid down laws and regulations.
I shall faithfully practice my profession in accordance with the laid down laws and regulations.
As provided for in the Nurses Amendment Act 2011 of the laws of Kenya.
As provided for in the Nurses Amendment Act 2011 of the laws of Kenya.
I shall abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous.
I shall abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous.
And shall not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug.
and shall not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug.
I shall do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession.
I shall do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession.
I shall hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping.
I shall hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping,
And the family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling.
and family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling.
I shall endeavor to work in collaboration with the other team members
I shall endeavor to work in collaboration with other team members
in provision of health care and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to me.
in provision of health care and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to me.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you so much. You can put up the candle, the light.
Thank you very much, our health professionals, our nurses and clinical officers. Thank you to Nicholas Mejia and James Mwenda for the work done.
Then graduates will go with them. Graduates will go with them.
Oh, please.
Yeah, they go with them.
Thank you. I call upon Reverend Charles Kibisho now to administer the choir loyalty pledge to our graduates.
Chancellor, sir, after the kind of counsel that the graduates have received, they go out to practice, and in addition to the academia they have earned. So we request the graduates who are here now, who are representing all the others, to stand up with the pledge paper. I know you have the copy of your pledge. And we will go together. You will not say after me, we will go together because you are doing it, committing. And we are saying this, and you other graduates, wherever you are, in your homes, wherever you are meeting, please hold that pledge, and we do it together. Now, we are saying that the Presbyterian University of East Africa is finding new paths, and graduates commit themselves at the pledge, promise to do the following. Together, as a graduate of the Presbyterian University of East Africa, I pledge that I will always be grateful to the Almighty God for granting me the opportunity to advance knowledge. 2, I will honor God in all my works to glorify His holy name, seek new, better ways to advance His works on earth. I will use my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability for the well-being of my communities and for the advancement of learning and the public good. I will conduct myself with honesty and integrity, taking responsibility for my action and respecting the rights, opinions, and dignity of all people. I will maintain my competency and keep abreast of development in my chosen field. I will strive to serve humanity, to better my community through good citizenship and active participation. I will be loyal ambassador for my university, and I will seek to promote her welfare and maintain her reputation. I will honor all who have shared their knowledge with me, and will in turn share my knowledge and experience within my sphere of influence. In all my dealings, I will endure to be known as a person of honor and repute, ever seeking to earn the peace of God conscience. In all my dealings with fellow humanity, I will seek to promote all that is righteous and just. I pray for good health, ability, work opportunity, and ability to see your hand in my rich supply. And this is my pledge. So help me God.
Thank you very much, Laura Kibicho. At this juncture, may I ask Caleb Odibo to come here on behalf of the Alumni Association of the Presbyterian University of East Africa and say a word of welcome to these new graduates to the Alumni Association. Briefly, please, welcome.
The chief guest, the moderator, the Chancellor, sir, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I was standing here some years ago, 2014, that's when I graduated, and I'm happy to be back here just to say welcome to the alumni who are graduating for 2020. As they all say, outside here, trust me, it's a dynamic world. Many things are happening, but one thing I will guarantee you is if you trust in God, everything will be okay. Just only trusting in God, as they all say that we need to have a technical connections and all that, and I think today we have one, as young people will call him Georgie. So Georgie, be part of our connection. As you go out there, if they ask you, who is your connection? Waambie unajua Georgie, si ndio? And I'm sure if you do that, then you'll be knowing someone in the country. Kidding. But welcome. I won't promise you that there are jobs out there, but one thing I will promise you is this. Our minds are like parachutes. They can only work if you open them. So if you go out there, open your mind. I did education, but trust me, I'm not in class teaching. So if you're graduated with education, for example, don't wait for TSC to call you. Call yourself and do something for the society. If you've done nursing, the same thing. So as you go out there, let's not say that we have added another law to the government of saying young people don't have jobs. Go out there and do something. I've seen great people who are graduates who are excelling in farming. We have seen many people who are excelling in other fields. So as we welcome you to Alumni Society, this humble prayer that you go out there and do something that will change and will solve the human problem. Welcome to the alumni, and we can't wait to see you out there. We can't wait to be part of you, help you, encourage you, and support you. If you want to know more about us, of course, you can always visit the registrar. We have all the details there, and we'll be more than proud to support you and also support our great university. To our lecturers, I'm happy to see some of them who are also with the class. Thank you so much. We are who we are because of you. So we want to say thank you. And to everyone else, our parents, thank you so much for always supporting us. And as they always say, education is nothing but education is life itself. So as you go out there, you can always get back to class and also do something again. Thank you so much, and congratulations, all of you.
Thank you very much, Caleb, for welcoming our graduates to the alumni, which is an important part of this institution. I take some time also to give Dr. Kareni to say something about the criminology graduates and the Professional Criminology Association of Kenya. Please, now that we have graduates, I think you need to tell them where they can find not just the association, but also join the profession. Briefly.
Thank you so much. And may I send my salutation to everybody under all the protocols of this congregation. Now, the graduates in criminology, I want to congratulate. He came here to congratulate all of you. Now, Professional Criminologists Association of Kenya is a professional body that registers criminologists. Now, if you want to improve professionalism in the management of crime, we have to oversee that this one is done through this body. Whenever you go for a job, you are asked to submit a letter of recommendation from a professional body. It cannot be any other than the Professional Criminologists Association of Kenya. That's why we are saying we welcome the graduates today who have done it in criminology. Please welcome, you'll be told how to register and become a member. Number 001, criminologist, is nobody else other than the chief guest who has stood here today. And what we do is going to know that we are really reaching out to all the criminology students in all the universities, and we carry out mentorship to them. While they are there as members, we assign them to members. For instance, if somebody wants to do detective work, as he or she is continuing with that study, we link him to a person who has experience in criminology field in detective work. For instance, we link to our chief guest. This one will allow them to know what they're expecting in the field. That is our work as a professional body. And the moment they complete a 6-month mentorship, we hold a graduation ceremony for them as a cohort every other time. We have the best, all those criminologists in Kenya, all those even members of Interpol, they are our members. In fact, members of the National Police Service is only a sub-field. Even lecturers in criminology, they are also in this membership. The head of department criminology, Dr. Majani, is a member. And in so doing, that's why the Department of Criminology in Puer is directly linked now to us so that we promote the professionalism through giving our members what we call continuous professional development courses that make them up-to-date to the way the crime is evolving in this country. So they are all up-to-date through some seminars that we hold every other time, and you get professionals right from us who are number one in crime management. That's why we are a professional body. Thank you so much. It's our direct. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kinoti, for that message. I think it's well taken. Please let us all stand now and sing to the praise of God the hymn you have on page 48, To God Be the Glory. Please, the band, lead us in singing this hymn as we move towards the conclusion. Please stand. Oh Lord, be the glory, the things He has done. To us He the one that He gave us His Son, who yielded His life a redemption to win, and opened the glory where things He has done. Praise the Lord, let the earth hear His voice. Praise the Lord, let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give Him the glory and things He has done. Perfect redemption, the purchase of blood, to every believer, the promise of God.
the vilest offender, who truly believe that moment from Jesus a pardon receive. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory, great things he has done. Great things he has taught us, great things he has done. Together rejoice.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the King, and give him the glory, great things he has done. Thank you, band. Please be seated. I now request our Vice Chancellor, Professor John Mungania, to come forward for an important moment of recognition of our guest. Vice Chancellor.
Honour Vice Chancellor, who are here, our Chancellor, sir, and all those guests who came this morning. I just want to invite our registrar to come and do this business we want to do here, recognizing our people, and being so pleased that we have come to grace this occasion. This moment actually is not even to recognize our guests, is to thank them and give them presents for the great work that they have done. We want to recognize even those of us posthumously, those who have gone to be with the Lord, because this is a great occasion when you have graduates now go out at work. I remember there are other warriors, and to remember what has been done before by the people of God, and they have come this far. That's why we said it's Ebenezer. So, Registrar, at this moment, we want to recognize our students, our own students, and this is, we want to start from Bachelor of Education Arts, and we are going to give them some present they will ever live to remember. And we will give our two champions, and this is Wafula Maluma Esther. Please come forward for your gift. want to give them very serious gifts, tablets they can live to remember. This is Wafula, Maluma, a star. We also want to recognize Getui Philomena Kawera. I see Getui Philomena Kawera. Come for your present. These are the people excelled as first class. Bachelor of Education Science, our two champions, Musumba Margaret Esisa. Musumba Margaret Esisa. Receive this present from us as a sign of handwork. Thank you, Makofi. Number 2, Andenya Muhonja Elvin. Andenya Muhonja Elvin. School of Theology, Bachelor of Theology, we had only one champion there, and this is Janet Mbowa Muganga. Those ones in the first class. Where is Janet? Janet Mbowa Muganga. Okay. Can the HOD theology receive this prize? Otherwise, you return it back to the treasury. Receive that one for your champion. Yeah. Mako for HOD. We have a School of Business Studies, and this is Diploma in Business and Administration. We have two champions here, Wambua Irene Ndoku. Wambua Irene Ndoku. She is coming. Thank you, Makofi. The second champion is Wambua Jackson Daka. Wambua Jackson Daka. Wambua Jackson Daka. We have Diploma in Criminology and Fraud Management. Wow. We have champion number 1 here, Sakare Munga Gicheru. Hey, that one will be able to detect the crime. Sakare. Oh, the HOD will receive. We have School of Theology, right? School of Theology, Diploma in Theology. We have another champion here, David Njugona Wadiga. David Njugona Wadiga. Come for your reward. Handwork pays. We want to recognize our BOT members and the council. People who worked from all those years until Ngota in the charter. We want to say thank you. That was great work. Give me the list, Monica. All right, because that's a big box, we just want to show you what we are giving to our council members. That one, what is it? You gotta tell them. What's the sum of what he says? They'll be like eagles. They'll fly. They have a certificate. Join together. Sema?
Okay. Okay, it says the Presbyterian University of East Africa presents this certificate of service to Dr. Daniel Ishangi with appreciation for outstanding dedicated service and invaluable contribution to the university development and management as a member of the Board of Trustees from the year 2015 to 2021.
Right, so I'll start with, that is just a sum to see what we are giving. Now we have the very Reverend Dr. Jessica Mau, who is our chairman. Want him to receive, who can, oh dear. The Chancellor. Yes, you happy? He is good. Wapi gate ya mzee. Unataka asimame mpaka angoje? Hapana, mzee hawezi kungojea. Atangoja tu. He is a very, very humble chairman. Makofi. Hii ni zawadi ya mwenyekiti. Okay, we have now this one, I'll say with all great respect, it is PCA General Secretary, the Reverend Peter Kania, deceased, and we want to honor him posthumously. If there's a member of the family, can receive this gift. If no member of the family, the moderator of the 29th General Assembly can receive on his behalf. We really want to feel we honor him posthumously. Thank you, sir. We have here Mr. James Wainaina, mzee wetu, Chairman of Finance, member of the board, very dedicated. We want them to feel they are like eagles and they can fly. Why is Mr. James Wainaina Islander? Every simama tu kuonyesha. Oh, he has left? Okay. Who takes it? Anything that we don't get, you give to the Secretary General. To take. All right. We have Professor Njenga Munene, my brother, my VC, my colleague, has been very faithful in this business of being a member of the board. Professor Njenga Munene. Now you are the gift is so big that you find somebody to carry for him. Na hiyo maandishi uyasome, uyaweke, ukumbuke Presbyterian University of East Africa. Asante sana ndugu. We have, no. Let them finish. Good. Please keep it for him. We have, now I want to say very seriously, Dr. Daniel Ichangi. What you saw as the sample to show the others. Now, who takes for Dr. Daniel Ichangi? He takes himself. hapa anachukua hii mzigo sana, lakini mzuri zaidi. We have Honorable Esther Ndirango. She has served with all the dedication of this great university as a board member. Hey, tunza mama si akaanguka na hii sawadi, ni hatari sana. I don't think why my people are taking photographs, but I know the CAC TV is doing good business. Now we have another one which the Chancellor helped me to send to overseas, Mrs. Cindy Candler. This is our overseas partner, and she represents the university there. And she has even sent a photograph so that it can appear. I think it's our Chancellor. We can do that so that it can reach there. Or maybe the Secretary General, because he is the guy who can send it to America. Mzee anaweza kusahau. Asante sana. We have, oh dear me, they also want to honor me here. Okay, we have Professor John Mungania. I've received. Then finally, we have our Mzee, chairman of the board, who is leaving us and becoming chairman of the council of Karatina University after serving here for 17 years. And he has promised us, whenever we call him at night, during the day, you come. This is none than Professor Francis J. Gichaga. Sasa sijui mzee nani atabeba hii. Asante sana. This tells you are not growing. You will grow like the eagle. You will fly, even where you are going to Karatina. Now we have the members of the council, and I will start from the very bottom, to remember posthumously our brother, Reverend Dr. Michael Mundia. This is the person who said, in fact, he missed the charter by Haskell, because it was this day and then he goes to be with the Lord. We want to remember him posthumously. If kuna mtu wa nyumbani around, if not our secretary general, kuna mtu anaweza kuchukua. Okay, kuja bwana. Tunataka hata malaika mbinguni wasikie tunampenda. Who is coming to receive? Okay, bwana Kaira, mpatie kabisa, mpatie. Reverend, please go for this one. Actually, he's the director, so it will reach there. He was the director before his demise. Good. Then we have Mr. Joel Ngatiari. Mr. Joel Ngatiari, a member of our council. And before, when our brother was appointed as chairman of council, he was made to act chairman of council. So this is none other but our brother, Mr. Joel Ngatiari. Good. Then we have another one, Mr. Rogers Ondima. Rogers Ondima. Rogers Ondima, member of the council. Just very active indeed. Asante sana. We have Mrs. Catherine Esoya, who was the ambassador to Zambia. Now is here full time to work with us. Madam Catherine Esoya. Asante sana. We have Mr. Dr. Jackson Jagerueto. Jackson Jagerueto. Where Dr. Jackson Jagerueto. Under the old dispensation, it was for the Senate to choose 2 representatives for the Senate, for the council. But this is now no more. We have Mrs. Maina Marcela, another member of council under the old dispensation. Asante sana. Now here we have our Chancellor, the very Reverend Dr. Julius Mwamba, and he gets a different type of zawadi. Where is it? That you tell us what it is. Hata mnafungua hapo, si yeye aifungulie. Onyesha watu, ni yeye ataonyesha. Bwana Chancellor. Onyesha tu Chancellor if you want to. Unaona? Ya hata kusoma unaweza kusoma.
Yes, true to the word. As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord.
Say amen.
Joshua 24, verse 15. That is true to my life. Amen.
Hallelujah. Now to our chief guest. I'm sure our moderator will present this to him. Our chief guest. Another different type of zawadi. Chancellor, you can actually present to Mr. Kinoti. Unaona? Hata saa imewekwa, picha yake imewekwa, kila kitu. And the Presbyterian University of East Africa, and the Simba is there, kwa sababu huyu ni nguvu na zile zingine. Asante sana. MC, I want to close this chapter, but are there other gifts, other presents? Hello? Tufunge? Okay, let me call the MC now to take over. My job is done. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, for that session. I call upon Marcella, the registrar, to make announcements, and then after that, Reverend Dr. Robert Waikenya will take us through the vote of thanks and invite the Right Reverend Patrick Dego, our moderator, to give us benediction. The registrar.
Thank you, DVC. The Chancellor, the Chief Guest, and all protocols observed. From now, we'll be looking at how we'll be getting back. So first, when we be through, we'll recess back to where we came from, and this time it will be in reverse order. So the guests will go first, and then we'll follow in that order. Once we reach the administration block, we'll have photos, then we'll remove our gowns, and next will be lunch. Lunch will be served in these areas: council chambers, the VC and his guests will be in the council chambers. Lecture room 20 will have the heads of departments, heads of sections, the directors, we'll have the clergy. Lecture room 21 will have the faculty, non-teaching staff, PUSA, alumni, security team. And in the cafeteria, we'll have the band, the choir, the entertainment teams, and the ushers. And the graduates. So we'll be in those 4 areas for our lunch. And as we go for our lunch, I wish you all the best. And thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. We are 1 hour and a half behind schedule, and therefore I want to take the shortest time possible because it was a beautiful graduation and a very gradual graduation. So thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank God for all what He has enabled us to do. And this with all humility and all the protocols observed. Then we want to thank the BOT. We also want to thank the council for their diligence and their good work. The Chancellor together with your team and the entire church, the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, all the faculty members, lecturers. We also want to thank the CAC TV for covering this event and what they have done today, and also all the other media platforms and what they have done. So we want to thank them so much. We also want to thank the President for honoring and giving this university a charter some few months ago, and we are grateful and thankful to him. The support staff, because was it not for them, this could not have happened. And everybody, the queer community, the students, the graduates now who have just graduated, thank you so much. Everybody feel appreciated. Even if we don't mention you by name, feel appreciated. Thank you for persevering and being with us here today, including those who are following us live and others on CAC TV. Thank you so much. So let's continue to keep God first, and we shall forever remain the first. Thank you so much.
Can we all start? I'll ask the ministers to lift their hearts and so that we can do the benediction. And may the peace of God that surpasses all human understanding keep your minds and your souls in the love and in the knowledge of God and His Son, Jesus Christ. May the blessings of God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit go with you, those who have graduated, us who are part of this graduation, us who are here, those who are home, watching from virtually. May those blessings be with each one of you and all of you, now and forevermore. We say, Amen.
As we
Give
stand,
myself away so you
by the authority vested
can
in me,
use
by the statute of the
give
Presbyterian
myself
Church of
away.
East Africa, I now declare this congregation officially.
I give myself away so you can. Come on, let him know. I give myself.
The band will first of all do the 2 anthems, and then we
Give myself away so you can use. I give myself away. What's happening? It's a generation. Embrace this. Come on, tell me. Here I am.
Piga hapo utasonga. Unaanza.
Well, that marks the end of our live broadcast of the 11th graduation of the Presbyterian University of East Africa, famously as where we are done with the day's events. Of course, 700 or so graduates today turn to graduates, and now we believe that they are going to be resourceful persons out there as far as the job market is concerned. And we believe that the job market is going to receive them with the guests that were here on the podium have said that they believe that the degrees, the diplomas and certificates conferred to the graduates this day are gone, of course, to make them, give them an opportunity, give them an upper hand as far as the job market is concerned. What a day this has been. What a day this has been, because this is the first graduation since the university was awarded the charter by His Excellency the President of Kenya, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. Last year, towards the end of 2020, the university was awarded a charter, and of course now this is the first graduation after that. We believe that now this is going to give an upper hand not only to the graduates who happen to be graduating this day, but of course even the name of Pue University is going to be elevated to a new level, and we expect to see even more of these occurrences, even more of this graduation taking place next year and the years to come. And so that is it from Pue University. CAC TV has been with you, yours truly, since morning, 6 hours or so of production, and we believe that you enjoyed. Since this event was taking place virtually, you had to keep it CAC TV for you to enjoy and not miss out on any moment. I want to talk to a few graduates here. How are you, Mama? Just a moment, just a moment. How are you doing? Just if you may allow me to ask you a few questions here. I know it's been a wonderful day for you, but you've waited because this graduation was supposed to take place last year, but it was pushed backward or forward because of COVID-19. How do you feel right now?
I'm feeling good. No, I can't stop.
Yes.
I can't.
She's so overwhelmed with joy until she cannot speak, but that is it, because of course you understand when it comes to matters graduation, when it comes to matters joy, she is overjoyed. But I'm going to find a few of them that I'm going to talk with to just give us a glimpse of how they feel the first graduation after the charter that was awarded last year, and of course the first graduation after the COVID-19 pandemic. There is my brother here. Welcome on set, my brother. Okay. I can see your face. Very glad, of course, very overjoyed. How do you feel right now?
I'm feeling very good. It has been a long journey since 2016. That's when I started as a student here, and also I'm also a staff here. Yeah.
You graduated today with what course?
Computer science.
Computer science.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel? COVID-19 happened last year, and you had to wait for another year for you to graduate. Do you feel late or something?
I was late, but right now I feel it is okay. It was a God's plan. Yeah.
Tunajua kwamba ajira katika taifa la Kenya hazipo sana, lakini wajua mtu akishatoka shuleni ndivyo hivyo, yuko na nguvu na yuko na ule moyo wa kwenda kule nje kupambana kutafuta kazi. Plan zako za kwenda mbele kuanzia leo ni zipi?
Kwanza kitu cha kwanza nitakachowambia wanafunzi wenzangu wanao graduate kutoka shule tofauti ya kwamba unaposoma si ati kwanza upate kazi. Wewe mwenyewe unaweza anzisha kazi yako, na ile elimu yenye umepata uitumie vizuri, utajipata ajili wengine, si lazima uajiliwe.
Bila shaka.
Yeah.
Unakuita nani, my brother, umesema tena?
Jina langu ni Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
Michael, your second name?
Karani.
Karani.
Yeah.
That's Michael Karani, of course, overjoyed because of finally today, a year later after COVID-19, he's able to graduate. My sister joins me on set. Your name, my sister?
My name is Lydia Kagendo Kobia.
Lydia Kagendo Kobia. You graduate today with what course?
Bachelor of Business Administration, Finance option. Yeah.
Unajihisi namna gani kwenye roho yako?
So happy. We have been waiting for this and finally the day has come. I thank God and my parents too. Yeah.
Your plan going forward?
To become better, the spirit that I've gotten from here, I'll be better person from today. Yeah.
Unazungumza vipi kuhusiana na chuo cha Pwea?
This is the place to be for everyone. Please welcome. We have a Christian foundation and we are brothers and sisters here. Welcome everyone. Yeah.
Thank you very much, my sister, and God bless you and all the best in your future endeavors. Mtazamaji, basi ndio kama hivyo tumekamilisha matangazo yetu ya moja kwa moja kutoka chuo kikuu cha Pwea, ambapo matangazo haya yamekuwa yakikujia moja kwa moja mahafali ya 11 ya chuo hiki, mtazamaji, na mahafali ya kwanza kabisa tangu chuo hiki kipate chata kutoka kwa Rais mtukufu wa taifa la Kenya, Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, na bila shaka basi pia ni mahafali ya kwanza kabisa tangu janga la corona litue humu nchini. Manake mahafali haya yalifaa kufanyika mwaka jana, lakini ndivyo hivyo yamefanyika mwaka 2021 kufuatia tu virusi vya corona, mtazamaji. Lakini kama tulivyozungumza, wamesema la kweli kwamba imekuwa siku ya kufana, imekuwa siku nzuri zaidi, na basi tuwatakia kila laheri wote ambao ni mahafala wa mwaka huu. Tunawatakia kila laheri wanapokwenda kule nje kutafuta shughuli 2-3 hivi za kutafuta kuhusiana na kila ambacho wamehitimu katika masomo. Tuwatakie kila laheri, mtazamaji. Tuamini kwamba umekuwa na siku ya kufana pia ndani ya runinga ya CAK TV, kwenye mtandao wetu wa Facebook CAK TV Kenya, kwenye mtandao wetu wa YouTube. Naamini kwamba umefaidika zaidi, na basi tunashukuru wote wale ambao wameshughulika katika upande wa kuhakikisha kwamba unapata matangazo haya moja kwa moja. Mafundi wetu wa mitambo walioko hapa pamoja nasi hapa, akiwemo Kavata upande ule wa picha, akiwemo Leo upande wa maelekezo, akiwemo Dickson, akiwemo Kamau, pamoja na waloko upande wetu wa studio zetu za Nairobi, mtazamaji, wametusaidia sana kuhakikisha kwamba matangazo haya yanakujia bila mushkili wowote. Basi pia tutakuwa tunaondoka, mtazamaji, lakini tutasema kwamba all the best kwa wale wote ambao wamehafali siku ya leo, mahafala wote, na all the best kwa chuo kikuu cha Pwea. Nimekuwa wako Vincent Kirusi, hadi wakati mwingine, mara nyingine, kutoka eneo la Kikuyu. Kwa heri.